What's happening, traders? Welcome back to another video. So you can see I've got the camera on down today. Might use the camera a little bit more as we go forward, but we shall see. But before we get into this, if you haven't already, please like and subscribe. We're trying to build a community of traders just like yourselves. We're going to have live trades like today, educational videos, challenges, fun stuff, you name it. This year it's going to be full of content, and hopefully you will learn something from it. So yeah, without further ado, let's jump into this trade. Okay guys, so jumping into the trade, we're just looking at Usdchf. So it's had a really nice upward trend for a while, okay? We've had this big push up, and we've got this area of interest right here, which is a demand zone, alright? So we've got this area has broken structure to the left, okay, breaking us out of these highs, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4 large buying candles or bullish candles heading to the upside. Coming into the zone, we've got a fair value gap, which is been tapped into, but it hasn't been filled yet. So with our strategy, and if I put the rules up here, we're going to find a supply and demand zone with a fair value gap within. Okay, so we have found a supply and demand zone. We found a demand zone with a fair value gap within. Look for a breaker structure. Okay, so we got our breaker structure from the zone, which broke all the structure to the left here. Wait for price to fill the fair value gap in the zone. So we've come into the gap. We haven't filled it yet. I'd like it to be taken completely out before we look for buys. And then the entry will be a break of a recent candle high, because we're looking for price to go up. Okay, so what we want price to do is something, if I can find my tool here, something a little bit like come down here, fill that gap. Okay, and then from there we're going to look for a break of a recent candle high somewhere, for then price to potentially continue to the upside. So that's what we're looking for. We can't really do much until this fair value gap is this fair value gap has been filled. So let's come back when hopefully that's the case. Alright then guys, so jumping back in, just a quick one. Some of you who are return watchers may realise we've changed a colour on our charts a little bit. We've changed the colour of our boxes and changed the colour of our bullish candles from a sort of turquoise blue to a white. I fancy the change, and I'm really liking it. Right, so we filled this gap, as you can see, literally taking it all out, and now we're just got to basically wait for price to give our entry signal. Our entry signal will be a break of a candle high. So the this candle ends in 26 seconds. All right, if the next candle comes up and breaks this candle's high, that will be our entry. Stop loss will be below the zone, or depending on how the candle forms, I'll decide whether I put it below the candle or not. If the next candle sort of plays in the zone, which is ideal, and then the next one breaks its high, so in 5 minutes time, then that would be great. If, of course, though, this candle, any candles don't break a high and close below the zone, then there won't be a buy, and we'll be looking for price to potentially reverse from a different area or fill this gap down here, or potentially come and look to take out this liquidity here, and then look for a buy from this zone down here, which if we go down to the low time frame, we have a fair value gap just there above and just in the first part of the zone there. So that's the plan of the trade. Still a lot of waiting to do, so we'll come back when that waiting is done. Okay then guys, so we've got 10 seconds, 8 seconds left of this candle. It has hovered nicely in the zone. Okay, we haven't pushed down too much. So basically what we're going to look for now is this candle to break this candle's high just here. Okay, it's looking nice. We've just pushed down, created a bottom wick. So I'm just setting an alert here just while, because I'm just doing something on the other screen. If we come up here, then we're going to enter a trade, something that looks a bit like this. Okay, we'll go for our first 1-to-1, which is at 10 pips. Alright, like so. And then the rest we shall let run, because we do have all this clean traffic to the left up to a major supply zone up there. So that's what we're looking for. And if we get it, then we'll take our entry and hopefully it'll be a great finish to the day. So we'll come back in a moment. Okay guys, so that candle actually pushed down. We haven't broken below. We've closed still within the overall 5-minute demand zone. So happy to still look for a buy, and potentially this will be our entry now down there. So we're just going to see if we can get the entry or not. Stop loss, sorry, alert is there. So we'll come back if we get an entry. If we don't, then it's likely we're going to push down, take out liquidity underneath these equal lows here, and then come into this zone. So we'll just have to wait and see. Okay guys, so I just had my alerts go off. We just create an equal high there. Technically, okay, that's an entry there. Okay, we're in. So stop loss is going to be below the low here. Okay, because if we go any lower than this, we're going to come down to this zone. We're going to have our stop loss of 1-to-1 here for 6.1 pips. And then we will have a continuation to the upside. Like so. Okay, so yeah, we got our entry, we got our break of a candle high. If we do come down and close below here now, then we will basically just be looking for price to come down here and then get a reaction from down there. So we'll be back when we have some more information. Okay guys, so we got stopped out there for 6.1 pips. This shows to me that price is likely going to want to come down now and take out this liquidity under here, okay, and then come down into this zone. So we're going to watch price. Maybe we can get a trade heading down there. Maybe not. We shall see. So yeah, basically we're just going to wait for price to now take out this zone and then come down, and then we'll look for a buy from there. Okay guys, the price is pushing down, so I'm going to get rid of this analysis just so it doesn't get too confusing. We're going to now wait for, as I said a second ago, price to come down and take out the liquidity below these lows here, and hopefully come into this zone, and then we can look for our potential buy to the upside from there. So there's not much to do now but to wait to see what happens. So jumping in Usdchf here, you can see that we've just liquidity grabbed everything below these lows, which is great. I would like price to come down a little further, but we're going to go to the 1 minute, see if we can find an entry on the 1 minute. So we've, as you can see, liquidity grabbed all of this underneath here with this little whoop. We haven't broken any structure on this yet, and the next structure really would be here for us to have a break. And then potentially if we break this, we come down and look for a buy off of a fair value gap somewhere. So not really sure how this one's going to play out. We took a loss on it, but that's fine. We're just going to have to wait and see if we can come down to fill this gap completely, which would give me better confidence. I could enter now, but that doesn't follow my rules. And my rules state that the gap has to be filled, and we haven't filled it even on the 5 minute there. Because if we go down to the 1 minute, within the zone, we've got this whole gap there. So let's see. Price could return here and come further down. If not, then we'll just take the loss on that one. So let's see. Okay guys, so the 5 minute we didn't get an entry on, but we have just got an entry on the 15 minute, and I'll explain why. So our initial 5 minute demand zone was around this area here. And then we had this liquidity down here, which we've just taken out with this liquidity grab, and we had a fair value gap in this 5 minute zone down here. Okay, but the 5 minute didn't come down to fill the gap completely, but we have closed quite nicely in the gap, in the demand zone on the 15 minute chart, and because we filled all the zone in there and taken this liquidity, we've now got a break of a candle high. So I'm happy to take this trade, and I have. So we're going for our 1-to-1 of 15 pips up here. Okay, and then we're going to look for price to continue after that. So had to adapt a little bit, but we've got an entry, and I'm pretty happy the way this looks. So let's see how it goes. Alright guys, so after some bad luck on the 5 minute, the 15 minute has played out nicely. We've hit our first TP. We lost 6.1 pips on the first trade, gained 15 pips here. So we're in profit overall on the day. We're now just going to let this run because we have got a lot of clean traffic up here, and then we've got a supply zone up here. So hopefully price wants to come and revisit that from this launch pad. And yeah, we're just gonna let price do its thing. We may look to enter another entry if we get a break above this high, because then we're breaking into even more clean traffic, and there could be potential for more upward movement. Okay, so yeah, we'll let that happen, and we'll come back in about half an hour and see where we're at. Alright, so full TP has been met. Love this trade. It didn't work out at first, but we managed to get it working in the end. We had that liquidity grab of these lows below here. Price then started making new highs and has pushed up on the 1 minute. The 15 minute was our entry. And whoa. And we had a break of that candle's high. Stop losses below the zone there, below that liquidity grab. And price has just pushed on up. So we've made a new high, but we have pulled back a little bit now. So a great trade, and that's where I'm going to leave it for today. If you enjoyed that, if you learned anything, let me know in the comments. And like the video if you enjoyed it. Please subscribe, because we're building a community of traders just like you, and we're going to have some fun this year. So cheers, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.